Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. How you doing, man?
I barely made it, man.
Yeah, well, I can understand why you'd want to come late because
Stuff happens, and there was traffic, and I was like, man, I was booking.
Really, that's it wasn't.
I was
just,
risking a ticket, man. I was hauling ass.
really. You wanted to be here that badly. I thought.
Well, I didn't want to be late.
Well, that's pretty surprising because I thought for sure after you saw the bull shark video that we released yesterday to the world from our latest adventure in Bimini that you wouldn't want to come in and listen to me say "suck it, loser" for the next 2 hours.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
No, you've become desensitized
Big
to
time.
that. Yeah.
I'll get there. I don't care.
Okay, I'm sure you will. Yeah, last week it was quite a special show. Myself, the dive god Neil Watson, Mermaid Kristen, we went over to Bimini and we did the whole bull shark experience and just had an amazing time. Kristen is with me right now, connected via the web, along with the rest of the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad, and basking in the afterglow of such an event. Is that right, Kristen? Are you still buzzing from that experience, or what?
I would be lying to you if I told you that I have not shown every guest that got on my boat the video of the shark jumping out of the water at me.
Yes. Yeah, we conducted an experiment because, here at Scuba Radio, we are scientists in a sense. And we talked about this before we went over to the Bahamas, that we were going to conduct a scientific experiment to find out if we threw a mermaid into the Bimini waters, would the bull sharks, would they be attracted to it? Would they be scared? Because we did this years ago in Guadalupe, and the great whites split town as soon as we threw the mermaids in the water. How did they react in Bimini? Well, we're going to talk about that.
I think I was right
later on. What's that?
I think I was right. You asked around, and I said they won't be afraid.
I didn't ask anyone. What do you mean?
Sorry,
you heard me. But the fact that we have Mermaid Kristen with us today is a good sign that things went well. But,
you thought like she would be shark repellent?
Well, I mean, that's what it ended up being in Guadalupe. We put the mermaids in the water, and we had 8-9 great whites circling the ship, and we put the mermaids in the water, and they split.
Maybe they were just full.
No. As soon as we brought them back out of the water, they came back. I'm telling you, it's science. And that's
you're out of your damn mind.
No, I am not. Well, that's besides the point. So, but we continued this experiment. I mean, that was about 10 years ago. We did that in Guadalupe, but we did it in Bimini last week, and we'll tell you how that whole experiment went. Now, I have to backtrack a little bit before we get into this today, though, because, there was some, we missed our Halloween show, our window.
I wanted to mention first before you get going, I got a nasty text.
Yeah, you got a text. I got a voicemail.
I got a text that was just like, WTF, man.
Yeah. Well, I got Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year.
And I'm like, I
do a big blowout.
I had nothing to do with it.
Well, I don't know if you did or not.
I produced something that I was asked to produce.
Right.
But after that, you did the show in Bimini.
Well, the timing.
So we didn't really have a Halloween.
Yeah, I had an idea for to do something around Halloween this year that I thought was going to be huge, but we ended up going to Bimini, and this opportunity came up with the Dive God. So we ended up doing that, and next thing you know, I really didn't have an opportunity to celebrate
Well,
Halloween.
I don't blame
according-
you. I don't blame you.
But reflecting back on it, that was probably a good thing because
All good.
I think we made a mistake, or there was some miscommunication with the crew. Not only timing of trying to do a Halloween show and going to the Bahamas instead, but also because, well, the idea I had, I thought was golden. I thought it was going to be great, but you got a text from him. I got a voicemail, and you know what? Let me just play you this voicemail. See if anybody can make any sense of this. Check this out.
Greg, it's Tank. I don't know what happened, but I recorded that commercial for Halloween you asked for, and I listened to the whole show before Halloween. I never heard it. I didn't hear jack squat.
Right.
I don't think it even aired once.
Nope.
You know, the one for the ScubaRadio horror dive on Horror Island.
Horror
Island? I don't know if anyone booked the horror dives or showed up at Horror Island, but what the hell, man? It was a lot of work to write it. I had to record it at CJ's studio.
Right.
He produced the audio. He said he emailed the file to you.
Mhm.
I just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm confused, and
Right.
I'm a little pissed off.
Oh,
And ScubaRadio Thanksgiving's coming up soon.
right.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm into it. Horror dive on Horror Island for Halloween. A really bitchin' idea.
It was.
But it just never happened, I guess. Not cool, man. Not cool. Oh, hell no. Anyway, call me.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
I think I see what might have happened.
Right. The whole idea was to do something for Halloween, that would be about,
Halloween dive.
a horror dive on Horror Island.
Horror.
Horror. And it wasn't really my idea to use Tank. Was that your idea?
No.
Okay. Well,
He showed up.
I think
he showed up. He had a script. I thought you guys had it all worked out, and I'm just going to pop him in the booth, record him, and
All right.
shoot it over to you. So that's
I'll play you this, but this was not my idea.
I didn't hear the whole Bimini show, so I didn't know it didn't air.
Okay. Like I said, this could have been a blessing in disguise because here's what I got sent.
ScubaRadio listeners, this Halloween, come dive at Horror Island. Horror Island has the best diving in the Caribbean.
Oh.
October 31st, mention ScubaRadio and dive for just $69 for your night dive at Horror Island. Oh, hell yeah. You're guaranteed to get wet on Horror Island. After your horror dive, enjoy a hot and juicy horror barbecue with plenty of big breasts and succulent thighs right on Horror Beach. Oh, hell yeah. Then slide up to our very, very sexy horror bar to swap horror stories and indulge in 2-for-1 horror cocktails, including crowd favorites Cock Johnson's Rooster Rum, Coconut Kristen Daiquiri, Bubble Boy Big Barrel Bourbon, Jerry's Juicy Bud Turtle Slut Slushy, and Casey's Tobacco Nutbuster.
Yes.
$5 get you 2, guys. $5 get you 2. Don't forget the Greg Keg will be flowing with golden goodness all night long at the Horror Bar.
Why don't you go back to your home on Horror Island?
Horror Island.
Horror Island. Horror Island.
So this Halloween night, don't forget your mask, grab your hose, and tell him Greg the Dive Master from ScubaRadio sent you to dive deep in the dark at Horror Island, proving it's always better down where it's wetter. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. I don't think he got the concept that I was going for. It was Horror Island to do a horror dive for Halloween.
That was borderline pornographic.
What? That wasn't meant to be, but that's kind of how it came out. And it's probably a good thing we missed our Halloween show.
Yeah.
So it kept us out of trouble. Thank God for that. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Bula. You'll hear that a lot when you visit Fiji. It's more than a greeting. It's the spirit of this friendly country. With 333 islands, white sand beaches, and year-round tropical warmth, it's hard not to feel happy at this exceptional dive destination known as the soft coral capital of the world. Fiji Airways has a modern fleet of aircraft to take you to Fiji in style and at great prices. Contact your travel agent now or go to FijiAirways.com and plan your Fijian dive adventure. That's FijiAirways.com.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new Scuba Radio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 Scuba Radio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New Scuba Radio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Lay it on me. Tell me what you can do.
Okay. I can communicate with every living creature living in our vast oceans.
Okay. Talks to fish. Got it.
Also,
I'm going to stop you right there because I know your powers. It's talks to fish. The rest of the page is blank.
I have sonar.
Yeah, for talking to fish.
I have super hearing.
So you can listen to fish?
I can breathe underwater.
Because that's where the fish you talk to are?
Night vision.
So you can find the fish if you ever want a nighttime chinwag.
I can do a lot more than just talk to fish, okay? I can transport the entire Justice League by manipulating the waves of the ocean.
Oh, wow. You know what else can transport people on the ocean? A boat.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Did you dress up as like a Batman or Aquaman for Halloween, CJ?
No, because I'm a grown-ass man.
Okay, so says you. I tell you what.
Feel free to wear tights if you want to.
Well, who doesn't want to wear a cape, though, at least?
You and your leggings. You probably wore some Scuba Radio leggings.
Why would you say this?
Because you were all into it a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they're not leggings if you're a guy. They are a skin suit, a scuba suit.
That doesn't sound much better.
That's worse.
A skin suit.
Come on, Bubble Boy, back a guy up, for Christ's sakes. All right, so look, I think Horror Island for Halloween would have been a great idea if we would have got our communication.
You must have told
straight.
him verbally. If it was written
Yes,
down,
I did.
then you could.
I didn't think I had to explain it.
I couldn't tell if he was saying
Halloween,
horror or horror.
Oh, I think I know what he was saying. He wasn't saying what I was thinking, which was Horror Island. To do a night dive during Halloween. I mean, that'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because Horror Island sounds really close to Horror Island.
The island that he described might be kind of fun too.
Yeah,
but that's a whole different kind of fun that we don't generally partake in here on this show.
So that's why you punted on that.
Yeah, well, that was, like I said, the timing was good that we didn't have.
But that didn't stop you
Halloween
from playing it today.
Well, I wanted to explain what had happened. So, I mean, are you going to talk to Tank and
I'm not.
get him on board for Scuba Radio Thanksgiving?
I might give it a week or so.
Yeah. I mean, we got the connected via the web. We got Bubble Boy. We got Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks, the Aqua Gypsy Brittany, Mermaid Kristen. Brittany, what do you think? You would have celebrated Halloween on Horror Island and did a horror dive with us, wouldn't have you? Especially
Quite
if you had not
possibly.
heard the commercial.
Yeah, I think it was better before I heard that. But
Yes.
there is a horror island that exists in Florida.
Wait, a horror island or a?
No, so it's spelled HORRS.
Really?
It's in it's in Marco Island. It's one of the 10,000 islands.
Wait, but how do you say it?
Horrors Island.
Horrors Island.
Awesome.
HORRS.
Horrors Island. And what do
Horrors
they have on Horrors Island?
Horse?
No, they have just a lot of mosquitoes and mangroves.
Oh, of
It's a
course they do.
10,000 island.
It sounds
But,
very romantic.
It's Florida,
There was
Greg.
a-
What do you think?
Right?
Brad.
There was a Captain Horror.
Yeah, of course
So
there was.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would tie into my Halloween idea. If we did Horror
Mhm.
Island, there'd be Captain Horror.
Captain
Right.
A-Scab.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Wait.
Whoa,
guess
wait,
what?
wait. You got
Last
more,
one.
Brittany. What?
We could take Walt's boat.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
A little horror.
A little horror.
Yeah.
I don't think he says it like
It's
that
not what
either.
it's called.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little.
Well, there's there's so many ways we could go with this. And
Hold on.
chances
Let her
are
say that was so cute when she says it. Say it again.
Say it. Go for all the
It's
rappers.
a little. It's a
Little.
No, say the
horror.
whole. Say the whole name.
There's a little horror.
Okay.
Aw.
That's cute.
Everybody gets a ride.
Oh, geez.
Hey
There it is.
now.
There it is. There it is.
All
okay.
right. Okay.
Well, if I would have planned this out better, we could have done Horror Island in Bimini last week.
But planning's not your strong suit.
No, God, no. But I mean, they're set up for it because we did the floating cage right there at the docks by the Big Game Club. We threw Kristen in the floating tank with the bull sharks to see how they would react. And
Cage.
we
It was
just
a
lost.
cage.
We just lost her. Oh crap! She was
They
driving.
got her.
I wanted Kristen to tell us about the experience, but I think she just lost her connection. That is what it is.
Greg, speaking of crap, we heard that actually you were chumming
Yeah.
some brown chum with when you saw the bull sharks.
That really wasn't chum. That was a digestive mixture of
Gum.
like coconut shrimp.
You crapped your pants?
No,
Mhm.
God,
That's what we
Rose
heard.
disease.
Oh, I didn't
No.
hear that.
No, you
That's
can.
what we heard.
No, there was no hearing of anything. I mean, there's
Mhm.
video proof of it up at ScubaRadio.com on our YouTube
Uh-huh.
channel, and that's the footage. Most of the footage I shot of me and the bull sharks, and I was in the cage,
That's
and then we
not
got
good for
Kristen.
Viz, Greg.
What? You got to bring him in somehow.
He chummed him right in.
Yeah, I went first because Kristen wouldn't go first. I said, "Okay, you ready to do this?" She goes, "I'm not going first. I want to see if you live, and then I'll jump in." That's exactly what I did. And she's
Mermaid
not,
chicken.
yeah, and but I got in the cage, shot some footage, and had a great experience with the bull sharks. And these were big bull sharks too. I mean, they get them right there at the dock at the Big Game Club, and I swear they had to at least be 8 feet, if not bigger. I mean, they were big, and we had I'd say at one time we had at least 7 that came up around the cage, and they were there the whole time we were hanging. By the way, because they're not in there for the shark dive that Neil Watson Bimini Scuba Center does. They're there because of the fishermen at the marina, and they come in there because the fishermen come in every day and they clean their catch right there at the marina, just like at any marina around the world. And the bull sharks have become accustomed to the fact that if they cruise around the area, they'll get a free meal.
Yeah, a little appetizer.
Yeah, and they get tarpon around there, and all kinds of critters and things like this. But they get these bull sharks that come in like 9 months out of the year, and swim around. So they said, hey, let's just put a floating cage down here, and we'll have a little shark dive experience. So that's what they do. And I got to tell you, it was one of the best shark cage dives I've ever done. And it was probably one of the easiest I've done as well, because they do a little hookah system. You don't even have to be on scuba. You don't have to even be certified as a diver to experience that. So it's very simple to do. Oh, I think we got Kristen back. We'll get her thoughts on diving with the bull sharks in Bimini next on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
I have big news for you.
So what is this big news?
When I go deep diving on you, I'ma make you go crazy. When I do the deep diver on you, you gon' wanna have my baby.
Whoa, slow down there, cowboy. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Okay, fresh from Bimini. We spent some quality time with the dive god and conducted a scientific experiment with some bull sharks in the Bahamas. Mermaid Kristen was our diver. The focus of our experiment.
Live bait.
Yes, because you don't want to use dead bait. They act totally different when you have live bait in the water with them. They act differently. And we did this years ago in Guadalupe. We put our mermaids in a cage with like 8 or 9 great whites, and as soon as we put the mermaids in the cage, the great whites split town. They swam off in fear.
They were smart
of their lives, and it was we
could learn from them.
Maybe, but I've been wanting to replicate that experiment with other species of sharks for years. We finally had the opportunity to do this with Kristen in Bimini last week.
You should put this on Shark Week. This would be a good show.
Yeah, it's science.
Greg the Dive Master of Mermaid Experiments.
Now, the fact that Kristen lived through the experience is a good sign, but I'll let her explain how it went. She made me get in the cage first because she wouldn't go first in the cage with the bull sharks, but you got in there. You got right in there in their face first without your, before transforming into a mermaid, and then after you did just the diver type experience, she changed into her alter ego as Mermaid Kristen and let science take its course. And what happened, Kristen? How would you describe it?
I mean, as a diver and as a mermaid, it was awesome. I mean, you guys saw me the day before trying to get them to come up to the dock anyways.
Right.
But no, it was great. Honestly, like them like banging against the cage, like they'd slap their tails on the cage and on the side of the cage and stuff. It was awesome. I was absolutely thrilled. The mermaid thing was a little bit difficult just because of like being pushed around in the cage.
Right.
And my tail kind of acting like a giant like sail for the current, catching the current. But no, it was awesome. I mean, the sharks did not care if you're a mermaid or a diver.
Yeah, I asked one of the scuba center folks there, Neil Watson's Bimini Scuba Center. She was helping us chum the sharks close to the cage. And I said, so how do you feel about this? What do you think? You think the bull sharks are going to care? You know, that we got a mermaid in the cage now with a big old tail that looks nice and juicy to those bull sharks. And she looked at me. She goes, they're not going to give a rat's ass.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
They're fearless.
And she nailed it. They didn't act any different whatsoever. But they came in very close to the cage. They were bumping the cage, and I don't know, maybe that's how they show their affection or dominance. I don't know.
Now, Greg,
you
when
can
they
read that into it or
every
not.
time they bump the cage, did you sound like this?
No, I was like, come on, let's see some blood.
I could just picture you bitching out.
What do you mean? No, yeah, I did. I'll tell you what, we had a innocent bystander walk by this
He's
science.
like, what's all the screaming about?
Yes, no. So Kristen was doing the mermaid thing, and she was, doing it on breath hold.
That's
at
what
one
I
point.
picture. I picture her down in there.
Yeah.
Checking out the bull sharks, and I picture you popping your head up going,
No, that wasn't how it went at all. But when she was free diving down, she had to hold her breath, and then she'd get out at the surface and she'd hyperventilate a little bit so she could hold herself down in the cage and get some footage.
You don't
like that.
hyperventilate.
I was going to ask
Well,
you
not
guys.
hyperventilate, but just do what 3 breath holds to kind of
just big deep breaths.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you guys were on hookah.
Well, we were, but she was being, she's doing a mermaid. She's making it real. She's doing the mermaid magic.
I was going to
thing.
ask you guys if you used weights or
Yeah.
not.
So she's floating at the surface, and the sharks are going crazy around the cage and jumping up. And I'm like, oh, one of these is going to jump over the cage into the top of this thing. But it was fine. But a guy was walking by when we were doing this, and he sees the sharks jumping around the cage. He goes, "No, go down now, go down!" And he starts freaking out. Because he thought that, there was something, terrible that was about to happen. And I was like, no, calm down. It's science.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help. There was the one shark that, there's that one video clip where I'm like on the back side of the cage and the shark's tail could have slapped me in the face.
Right. Well, that's how they say hello.
That would have been hilarious.
That's a shark way of saying hello, is they smack you with their
they go,
tail, right?
Whappita, whappita, whappita.
Something like that. Yeah. It's an affectionate gesture, I believe, in the shark science world. That's just my guess, my educated observation. That's what we're going to go with. But the bottom line is,
if only you were as smart as you thought you were.
Oh, tell me about it.
Man. Boy, we'd have something then.
Hey. But the bottom line is the sharks did not care. They really didn't weren't affected by the fact that we had a mermaid in the water with them. You'd think with that big juicy tail that they might be a little bit more curious, because they're coming in, they're feeding on fish scraps and things. So it's probably not. I remember when we did it years ago in Guadalupe. I thought, oh, this isn't going to end well. Thank God we brought 4 mermaids. If we lose 1 or 2, we're still good. In this case in Bimini, I was like, we had 1, and 1 and done. But Kristen was a good sport, willing to risk her life for science.
So how long were you guys in the cage?
Yeah, I did it for about 20 minutes. I don't know. What do you think, Chris? You spent a lot of time down there, actually. Don't you think?
Yeah, because I did it like 20 minutes for each thing. So
right.
Probably like almost 40 minutes, almost an hour.
Yeah. She had a good amount
But
of
I didn't want to
time.
get out.
It was a good time. She was in her element. I mean, that's Kristen's thing. Her favorite animal, that is the shark. Right, Kristen?
Yep.
As a diver, as a mermaid, her thing is sharks. So there you go. So she had some quality time with her favorite animal of the sea last week in Bimini, and that's where you go for this kind of experience. It's so easy too. That's what is really impressive about that dive. And we got kind of blown out. I mean, we couldn't really go out and experience all the other dives that they have there in Bimini because the wind was blowing a little too much. But that bull shark dive is right there at the marina, and as long as you can get the viz, which they usually have, we had to wait a couple days for it to clear out a little bit. But once we get the viz, that was a phenomenal dive, wasn't it, Kristen? That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so much fun.
So there's always something to do in Bimini, even if you were to get blown out because of the weather. And Brittany, what do you think? Yeah, you've been to Bimini several times. Have you ever done that one, or is that on your list? What do you think?
That one I've never done. The cage diving with the bull sharks, I've never done.
Yeah. I mean, does it sound appealing after, we've explained this to you with Kristen and myself? And you've seen the video?
I know. I've already dove with bull sharks a couple different times.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've been there, done that.
I would still do it because I've never dove in a cage before.
Right.
That sounds interesting.
Yes. Whenever you can get, people in a cage, it's fun. It's kind of an experience. And Vinny Two Tanks, you want to do this, don't you, Vinny? Come on.
I already did. I was sitting last time I was in a couple months ago. I was in Bimini, and I stood right on I didn't go in the cage, but I stood by the dock. You could see them right in the water right there.
Well, that's true. Before we even got in the cage.
You don't even have to get in the cage. They're right there.
Well, that's true.
Doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Well, it doesn't count. Right. Yeah, you're not a cage diver, Vinny. You're an observer.
Cage watcher.
Yeah. But I will say, Kristen got in there before we got in the cage. She just splashed her hands in the water, and they came within 2 seconds.
Dinner bell.
It was like, whoa, there they are. And they came right up and said, hello, come on down, come swim with us. Well, let me get in the cage first, and then we'll be good. All right, more coming up.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Did you ever take an acid?
No.
All right. What happens when you take acid or go scuba diving is the same thing. If you take acid or go scuba diving, you come back. But you're a little different.
I'm a deep sea diver. Got a stroke and I can't go wrong.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Okay, so CJ's in the studio with me, and we got the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad connected via the web, made up of Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks, Brittany the Aqua Gypsy, and Bubble Boy. Kristen had to take off. She's kind of working after spending. I mean, she worked for it. I mean, she put herself out there for this experiment in Bimini last week, and we got to give her time to recover. Not physically, because she was fine. I think emotionally, there were some question marks, but that's just how things roll. I mean, but I think she did quite good. Don't you agree, CJ? It was science.
From what I saw in that video.
Mm-hmm. The video is impressive.
But that was mostly you.
Right. Well, I haven't put a video together yet of the actual mermaid experiment with the bull sharks, but we have the footage.
Why would you?
What do you mean?
If he did, we'd never see it.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I presented Kristen. You see, she had no visible scars or anything like that. Of course, you could only see her from the waist up, but there may or may not have been a reason for that. I'm kidding. Look at you. Everybody's all serious. They're like, what happened? Nothing, honey. There you go. What do you think, Brittany? Would you have done that? You would have jumped in the cage if I would have asked you.
Of course you would.
For science, you would have, right?
Yeah. I feel like Kristen's probably more emotionally scarred because of seeing your chum than of the science experiment.
I I don't show my chum to anyone.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
We've all seen it here, Greg.
Say chum or chub?
Wait,
Whoa.
Oh, God. Come on.
Too far. Too far.
Oh.
He started it.
All right.
That
Well,
was funny.
regardless, that we had a great experience in Bimini, and we got to go back. I mean, it's so close to get
Is
there.
that true though, or you
What?
just
What? What was true? What?
you made a mess in the
No,
water?
God, no. Come on. You know me.
I know.
I have buns of steel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to release
I know
anything
your
like that.
dietary habits too, so it wouldn't surprise me if you.
Yeah.
No, I had a quality experience with the bull sharks of Bimini, thanks to the dive god. And by the way, I got to thank Aztec Airways. We flew over back and forth between Fort Lauderdale and Bimini in style this time. I didn't even know this airline existed, but if you go to aztecairways.com and go to their website and book a flight, I mean, the prices are really good. Maybe a little bit more than what you'd pay on a regular charter, but it's basically, and when I say regular charter, I mean like, there's Silver Airways, there's the Bulimia Fast Ferry. No, it's the Ballerina. I don't know.
Bulimia.
It's one.
Ballerina.
What is it called?
Malaria.
Malaria. That's what I
Malaria.
said.
Pretty close.
Malaria.
What do you guys
That was
want from me?
close. That was close.
That's the mosquito disease.
Oh, all right. So anyway, you have those options, but Aztec Airways was another option that I didn't know about, and we flew with them, and the price was great, and it was basically like having, flying back and forth in your own flying limousine. And we had a lot of flexibility on luggage. You can even fly a pet.
Was there a waterbed?
There was no waterbed. No.
Led Zeppelin.
Are there
Ours is a little
water
heavy.
beds in limousines?
Led Zeppelin had a waterbed in their plane.
Did they really?
Hell yeah.
Well, okay, it's not that.
It's right by the
nutty.
bar.
I mean, it's a 42-minute flight. I
Hey.
mean, no, wait, I should say 40. It's 45 miles, and it takes about 20 minutes. So you wouldn't even have time to, get into your PJs if they had a bed on the plane.
I wasn't
CJ.
talking about sleeping.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway, check them out.
I want to go to Horror Island.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Next year we're going to make that happen. I could talk to the folks there in Bimini. I bet they would let us take it over for a night, and maybe
Jump on Aztec Airways and fly over to Horror Island.
Horror Island, and
Or
we
you
have
can just put your tutu on and go on the ballerina.
No thanks.
The Balearia.
Oh, no, I think what we would do, if we really wanted to exploit that idea, is go over to Bimini, have set up like a haunted house there by the big game club, right by the dive shop, and then set up a night dive in the cage with the bull sharks.
And the dive god could bring his dive gourd.
Excuse me?
Dive god could bring a dive gourd.
Okay.
Being like a pumpkin.
Oh, a pumpkin. Yeah, right.
God, I have to spell it
Why
out.
would the dive? I mean, I thought that was Vinny Two Tank's job.
Not anymore.
Yeah, Vinny's
Not
done let
anymore.
us down this year.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was a tradition. I'll
He
keep it
didn't
in
know
mind for
after
next year.
years. We've stripped him of that.
I guess so.
I only did it once, didn't I? Just did
No,
one time, didn't
did
I?
it
No, you did
twice.
it twice.
Did I? Oh, no, I forgot. All right.
Of course.
Benny, Benny, do you know the variety of the name of your pumpkin?
Not that I'm aware of.
You had a white pumpkin that kind of looked like it was a pie pumpkin, right?
I can't. Don't ask me that because I can't remember. I got CRS.
Stuff. Right.
So
Yeah, I remember stuff, right.
it's called a Casperita. That's the name of
How
the
about
pumpkin.
that? It's science.
Mhm.
It's more science, man. We're overloading
Is she
everybody
taking
with
Barry's
science.
job of looking stuff up?
No, I just know that off the top of my head.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
that-
Next year for sure, I'll do it.
I don't know, Brittany.
That's what
now
you
that-
said
now that
this
you're being
year.
Well, you can still do it.
Maybe Barry is dressed up as Brittany, the Aqua Gypsy, today.
I don't think so.
It's a little after Halloween.
How dare you?
Kind of thing.
Yeah, really.
True.
Don't insult me, Greg.
Okay.
Damn, Greg.
Actually, that's not an insult. You know what? Barry is highly intellectual. Very, very smart.
Well, and obviously Brittany has lost her mind. So, no, I'm
Barry's
kidding.
Barry.
It's okay. Yeah, Jerry had to chime in because, lovers quarrel.
Whatever.
Sticking
There,
up for his boy.
You and your ballerina.
Okay. But no, I'll tell you what, though. I do believe the Scuba Radio Halloween horror dive. I mean, it kind of plays off of, we have, Universal Halloween Horror Nights. That was the idea. It kind of took a weird turn there with Tank.
But this would
I
be
missed
more
the mark.
fun. You get a night dive, a
Yeah.
barbecue on the beach.
We could set up a haunted
Tiki
house
bar.
at the dock there, and it could be some kind of nightmare scenario where you're walking the docks with Jerry the diver guy, and he falls in the water and is
Loses
shredded.
the flip flop.
He loses a flip flop and maybe an appendage or two to a bull shark.
Zombies.
Well, okay, zombies. Yeah, not sharks.
I'm willing to bet that the Bahamians really don't care that much about Halloween.
Yeah, they wouldn't have any idea what the hell we were doing. But that'd be the whole point. That's why we might be able to get away with it.
They might think it's voodoo.
Well, there could be. There could be a little
Eating
bit
the
of that.
cats, they're eating the
Santeria.
Ah, right. Well, I don't know. It's an idea. Another bad one. From
Hey,
your
there are no
friends
bad
here.
ideas.
Oh, really? Have we proven that for the last
throw 'em all
27
out
years?
there.
That is true. But these are some of the ideas that
I've yet to find the filter.
there's no filter. But I may apply these to the Dima show in Vegas. Maybe we could. We wouldn't be too far removed.
That's too far.
Is it? Because we got a
Halloween's
couple more
over.
weeks.
Closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we are coming up with some ideas for the Dima show in a couple weeks. We're actually going to talk to one of the diving champion nominees for Dima this year in hour 2 of the big show today. You guys ready for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to tune in to find out who this is or what organization it is next on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
You can hear it on Scuba Radio, the world's first scuba diving show. From Captain Ron to Jock Cousteau, they all love Scuba Radio. On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters?
Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ in the studio with me. And then connected via the web, we have the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad made up of Bubble Boy, Jerry the Diver Guy, the Aqua Gypsy Brittany, and last but not least, Vinny Two Tanks. And so we got a full crew at the moment, but we're joined by one of the finalists for this year's Diving Community Champion Awards. They do that at the DEMA show every year. Scuba Radio got it a few years ago, which we were very honored to receive that.
You're welcome, Greg.
Yes. Jerry goes out of his way to make sure everyone knows he was the one who nominated us.
Yeah,
So,
Greg. That would be me.
okay, I'm telling you.
You know that was Jerry, right?
No.
Yeah, Jerry the diver guy.
Wait,
Jerry did
this
that.
our Jerry the diver guy?
Yeah.
He did that.
One half of Jer Bear.
I love you, Greg. You're my hero.
Oh.
Did you do that with Barry or by yourself?
Yeah, what was that a buddy team that did it, or
that
did
was
you?
by myself.
That was before he found
Love.
his
All
better
that
half.
come out. I just poured my heart out over you.
Yeah, well, okay.
I was on a crying drunk.
All right. Well, okay, whatever. I mean, I don't know how to take that, but he's starting to make it awkward,
I
isn't
think
he?
it's a compliment.
I'm not totally sure. So let's just move on to this year's possible winner. Now this organization has been around for some time, and basically how it works is throughout the year they nominate candidates to receive this year's Diving Community Champion Award, and then they announce the winner out of the top 3 at the DEMA show. So I don't know who's going to win it, but this organization is in the final 3, and we have Jim Elliott from Dive Heart with us right now on Scuba Radio, who's one of those 3. Jim, welcome and congratulations.
Well, thanks, and thanks for continuing to share the story with your audience. It really, really makes a difference, and we appreciate it.
Well, I mean, if anyone deserves it, it's definitely, Dive Hard has a great track record with all the help they do for
Yes.
people with challenges and opening up their options as far as learning how to dive, and he's been doing this for years, and it's good to be recognized. And it's not about winning, it's about winning, but it's not. It's about being recognized for the good work you do, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, 23 years into it now as
Yeah.
a nonprofit, so we're very excited, and yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I knew it from the T-shirt before you said it.
Oh, get out!
Kinda
Yeah, they have a great logo.
I'm really surprised though that
You hadn't got it before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's sometimes, it just takes someone like Jerry the Diver Guy to nominate you. And
Jerry, did you nominate?
did you nominate Jim and Dive Heart?
Well, as much as I'd like to take credit for it, but no.
Oh, okay.
Nice going.
Yeah. Pretty lame, Jerry. Where you
But
been?
I do support them every year at DEMA.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for that. Yeah.
he needs to work on his priorities, Jim. I apologize for Jerry. But regardless, I'm glad you're being recognized this year. And we'll find out at the show. You have no idea if you'll end up being the big dog, or, I mean, there's 3 levels. There's platinum, platinum, gold, and silver? Is that what it is?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
So
So, yeah.
platinum is the big, the big award, but just being in the top 3 is quite an accomplishment, and just goes to show, how people look at all the good work that you've done over the years, don't you think?
Yeah, I timing is really good too. I was just talking to your crew a little bit earlier. We have a second documentary, Adapting to Dive, is the award-winning documentary David Marsh did.
Yeah.
And we pulled him in to do a second one. It's the legend of how the Christ statue got from Italy, donated by Cressy, to Key Largo.
Right.
And so it's a really amazing story. And we were debating as to whether we should launch it before DEMA, so everybody's got a buzz going on, or do a premiere at DEMA. So we're kind of
okay.
kind of
So
trying
you're trying to figure that out over the next couple weeks, and then make an
Yeah.
announcement right before the show, at the show, if you decide to do a screening or something. And I would imagine that'll be at diveheart.org when you make that announcement, right?
It'll be, yeah, we'll have it on our YouTube channel with the other 275 videos and news stories and stuff.
Well, that first documentary you're talking about, it's been 2 years now, maybe even 3. hasn't it?
Premiered in 2022.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is phenomenal. And we've had that,
Thank you.
that producer on Scuba Radio. We've talked to you and him before on the show. So he's already shot this whole new one. It's all done. And you just got to decide when you want to premiere it somewhere.
Yeah, actually,
Cool.
Drew Richardson's in it, and so David, the filmmaker, is running it by Drew. We just want to make sure certain people are cool with the way it's put together. So
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Drew, the head of PADI, Professional Association of Dive Instructors. So, yeah. All right. Well, I mean, you're always hobnobbing with the upper echelon of the dive industry. I have no doubt about that. And then he manages to talk to us, bottom dwellers.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I love it. Brings me back to radio. I used to be with WGN Radio.
Yeah, that's
back
right.
in the media days. Yeah. So
yeah.
love being talking to you guys.
And he's like listening. He's like, this is how this is what we tried to avoid.
I was gonna say this is how not to do a show.
Exactly. Kid, but only halfway. But yeah, Jim, it's good that you guys are being recognized. You're always doing great stuff. I mean, you're still working on that big project with the facility and trying to get funding for a big new place there in Chicagoland, right? That's still underway.
Yeah, we're obviously everybody is putting things on hold because of the election.
Yes.
So that's kind of But our senators have promised to help us, and our Congress people have promised to get us in front of some people that can write some big checks. So
well, there you go.
Keep our fingers crossed, knock on wood, right?
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I mean, they got, you've always had very ambitious goals, and they've achieved quite a few of them, actually. And it's pretty impressive what you've done over the years. And once again, if you go to diveheart.org, you can pick up one of their cool shirts. They got one of the best logos in the dive industry. It's basic and simple, but, heart. Look like a dive flag with dive heart in the middle of it. It doesn't get much clearer than that. And, they take people that need, something, if they've been physically challenged or even mentally challenged, they take them underwater, they teach them how to dive, and they just show them this whole new world and open up a cool, list of opportunities that they may have thought they weren't capable of doing. But that's where you bridge that gap.
Yeah, the thing I love about it is my daughter's blind from birth, and I got her involved in downhill skiing in the 80s, and I saw it turn her life around, and I did that for decades. And then when I left the media business, decided to start Dive Hard. I said, I want to do this. I want to change people's lives with diving, mainly thinking about getting guys out of wheelchairs, basically, and getting them. And really to this day, and I don't draw a salary, but my payday is when I get somebody out of a chair and they stand up in the deep well of the pool and they look down and they kind of go, oh my God, I'm standing up. I'm breathing underwater.
I'm doing it.
Not in my wheelchair.
Yeah.
And it's like the payback is so quick, and they start self-identifying then as divers as opposed to somebody with some kind of a disability.
Right.
It's really powerful.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it on the videos, and obviously we've had the story on Scuba Radio over the years. I've followed your progress, and it's good to see you're being recognized this year at DEMA Show. Good luck on becoming the platinum winner. We'll see how it goes and report accordingly on the big show, but you have a good one, and make sure you get to diveheart.org and support that organization today. We got more coming up. Stay close to the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
How, when, and where it's made has never been more important than now. Just ask all those divers and dive shops that struggled to get products and parts during the pandemic. One relatively new gear manufacturer, however, managed quite well. Nex is one of the few, if not only, dive gear manufacturers to bring regulator and design assembly back to the USA. No shortages during the pandemic for their customers and dealers. And get this, Nex was a Tester's Choice winner in Scuba Lab for 2022 and a Best Buy in 2023. Each Nex regulator system is made to order, cutting down on overhead and allowing you to get exactly what you need for the kind of diving you prefer. This will be the last regulator you'll ever need, since the modular design can easily be modified as your diving skills and preferences evolve over time. Are you ready to make your next dive your best dive? Then go to nextdive.com. That's nexdive.com. Next Underwater Products. Nexdive.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive. Dad, what are you doing in there?
I look these fish right in the eye, and they look back at me, and they see right through me. They know who I am, these fish.
Come on, baby, and do the fish. I'm gonna teach it to you right. Come on, baby, just like this. We're gonna do our fish tonight.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Okay, CJ in the studio, and then we got connected via the web. Bubble Boy, Vinny Two Tanks, and Jerry the Diver Guy at the moment. All right, so there's a story that came out this week about an aquarium in China. And I don't know if this could be a sign of the future. You know, I don't know if this is a real solution or is this a total scam? I mean, some people are upset right now.
Uh-oh.
But I saw the video and I'm like, whoa, this actually could become a thing. You know how like aquariums have come under fire from environmental groups, whether it's captive, orcas or sharks or God forbid, the whale shark incident that they had in the Georgia aquarium for years, where people are not fans of that, even though they have a couple of them. And
my daughter just went and visited that and sent me videos. She loved it.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? Well, I guess they were going to do that in China, and they had an aquarium, and they advertised it, and people bought tickets to go to this aquarium to see the whale shark. And they got there and then found out that the whale shark in the aquarium was a mechanical robot, an underwater whale shark drone type of critter.
That's cool.
And actually, I saw that you can look this up on YouTube, like robotic whale shark in China or something like that. And
but they don't tell people it's a robot?
Well, they did, and people demanded their money back. Like, hey, wait a minute, that's not a real whale shark.
That's crap.
But you look at it, and it's like
bait and switch.
Definitely, that's unfair advertising. I agree with that. But you watch the video, it's like, that looks pretty accurate. They got. I mean, the whale shark that they've created that swims in the aquarium, that's a robot kind of device or underwater drone type, looks pretty accurate. If it just had like a skin on it, you couldn't possibly pull it off. And I was like, hey, I wonder if this is the future.
I hope not. I'd rather see a real.
Well, yeah, maybe you would, but for people who don't want to have the animals in captivity, is this a possible solution?
Actually, they could do it with whale sharks and with mantas because they don't have that. They're not chewing anything; they're just sucking stuff in. You could easily make those models that look just like them, right?
A little bit of Hollywood, a little bit of technology.
I bet they could make one that looks just like it. I mean, you would think it's the real thing.
Well, we were talking about the Optimus robots there from Elon Musk, and who knows?
That would help you a lot. You could have robot mermaids for this show.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's genius!
Crisis averted.
Thank you. And they will be reliable.
They would never age
beyond time.
No, age is not a problem. I didn't say that out loud.
Well, what do they know about chubs?
Excuse me?
Oh.
No, they would not.
Okay.
I beat sorry.
He's censoring himself before he says it for the first time in the history of Scuba Radio, 27 years.
I beat CJ to it.
Just censored
I
himself.
wasn't going to go there.
Golly. Well, I prefer live mermaids, just for the record, and because I know they might be listening.
I'm just saying.
There
Oh,
you
they're
go.
not listening. If
Well.
they're not on the show, they ain't listening.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's that. But I mean, I do wonder though, if aquariums, 20 years from now, maybe there won't be live fish. It'll be like all these like autonomous robot fish.
More just
that'll people will go watch
some
and
sort of
but they'll look
display.
real. They'll look like real fish or look like real whale
They
sharks.
just have to put real small print, an approximation.
Why?
Because it's not real.
Well, I
whale
mean,
shark. Come see the whale shark. An approximation.
Well, if
You
it
can go to
looks
Georgia and see that.
well, I'm telling you, this could be an alternative that would satisfy both, issues. I mean, there's the group of people that don't like to see wildlife put on display.
I
in
wouldn't care. I
tanks.
wouldn't want to go see a robot. I'd be like, who cares? It's a robot.
Well, it depends on if it looked like the real deal and it was like, hey, you go to this tank to kind of see a simulation of the underwater world and the critters, and they look like real whale sharks, which I'm telling you, if you go look at this video of this whale shark from China, it's not that far off base. I mean, it looks pretty accurate. And like
but I
the
would
only thing
know
it's missing.
it's not a real whale shark, so that would kill it for me.
Well, okay, but if you're trying to just show what these critters look like in the real world,
I wouldn't be into it.
But then that's one less whale shark in captivity. That's one less potential, orca.
Okay, but I'm still not going to go
at,
see it at the aquarium. I'm still not going to the aquarium. They're not going to sell me a ticket.
Okay, well, you're a diver. You don't have to. This is for all the thousands of people, millions of people that don't have that luxury or superpower of being a scuba diver like us. And then could this be an option to set up a bunch of mechanical fish and critters like that where you don't have to, put all these animals in captivity?
You could just
this might be a solution.
You could sit at home and watch the real thing on TV.
It's not the same as seeing it up close and personal.
Look, it's a fake shark.
Yeah, but if it looks real and you couldn't tell the difference, open your mind.
I did. You would know. That's lame.
All right. Jerry likes the idea, I think. He thinks it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. And Vinny Two Tanks, what do you think, Vinny?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, see?
Okay, that's fine.
You're not going to be sold on this idea.
No,
All right.
salesman.
I just think there could be something there.
You would be a good salesman.
Wait, but think about this. Then you could program them. You could solve this whole issue like with SeaWorld and performing animals. You could just have the robots do it and have them jumping out of the water like they did back in the day when we were kids.
You could sell tickets to keep it
I would
going, I guess.
Hey, I wouldn't care if it was a robot Shamu show. I'd go see that.
I wouldn't care.
They would jump up out of the water and pose for pictures with you, smile at you, talk to you. It could do all this extra stuff.
Yeah, but it wouldn't poop.
Well, you could make it.
They could make it poop if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't program that in.
How do you know? Are you in the future?
I wish I was. I wish I was. The show was over with.
Bubble Boy likes the idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What do you think?
If you do see an animatronic Yul Brynner, though, you should probably get the heck out of there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a whole nother issue that we should avoid at all costs. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, no, Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Hi, my name is Lisette, and I will be your bartender at Titico Bar in Saba. Come on and see me, but until then, keep listening to Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. And now, here is a one sexy man, Ray, the dive master.
There you go. There you go. He only took 3 drinks and 2 tequila shots.
Yeah, that's what it takes.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Mr. Sexy Man, Greg the Dive Master. That's what Lisette says in Saba.
You told her to say that.
No.
Yeah, you did.
I did not. I didn't say squat. That was totally off the cuff. And, sometimes the magic just happens. I can't turn it off. When I travel, I know a lot of people think that
it's not nice to make fun
this
of.
is something that just, it
Greg,
just comes from me.
Not nice to make fun of the blind.
Excuse me?
Take advantage of them like that.
Shh. That was a detail you didn't have to share. Okay, look. We have a special guest on the show that we haven't had for a while. Scuba Queen Rachel is with us right now. She has been crowned Miss Scuba Queen 2024. And we haven't had her on in a while because she's, traveling the world as a scuba queen.
Doing queen stuff.
Yeah. But we got her today. Rachel, how are you? How you been?
I've been fantastic. It's been a very, very busy year. Did commentary for the Freediving World Championships and took a job with O. So I'm working for Cirque du Soleil.
How about that?
Super cool. And fortunately, I will not be here for DEMA, even though it's here in Vegas, because I'll be competing at Miss Scuba International in Borneo.
Nice. Yeah, and she has a good excuse. But she usually resides there in the Vegas vicinity. And you work at O, that Cirque du Soleil show that's been around for years. And so what does that entail when you're working as a diver? What, like a safety diver for the performers or what exactly, Rachel?
Yeah, it's a set pieces. And then on top of moving set pieces underwater, you're catching divers artists as they go into the water, making sure that they stay safe. It's the most interesting diving that I've ever done.
I bet.
You have currents because the scissor lifts are moving up and down, so the stage moves, and so it creates these currents. It's a night dive because it's show conditions, and then you also have masking bubbles to kind of mask what's happening in the water,
right.
And with your visibility. But it's super, super fun.
Oh, I bet.
So it's been a really cool job.
I can only imagine what it'd be like to dive around that whole contraption. So, but when the platforms move up and down, they actually create suction, which creates these currents in the pool. This giant underwater staging area. Wow, that's kind of wild. So you got to be, a very accomplished diver to handle all this, or do they lead you by the hand, like, okay, be here at this point and that point, and pretty much lead you around exactly where you got to be and when and where, right?
Exactly. So it's not really leading you around. Like you'll shadow somebody, or you'll shadow like quite a few different divers on the aquatics team for quite a while, just to make sure that you know where you're supposed. Because yeah, it can potentially be dangerous if you're at the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah.
As long as you have your safety protocols in place, you're in the right place at the right time, you're good to go. They do have quite a few safety protocols, so it's nice to feel comfortable while I'm diving in the water.
Oh, I have no doubt. I saw that there's a documentary on Amazon Prime right now about the Cirque du Soleil show of them coming out of COVID. And it's really, really good. I think it's Amazon Prime, right? Isn't that what it's on?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Those are some of my colleagues. Absolutely love them. They're amazing.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's one big family and talks about all the performers and all the behind the scenes kind of stuff. I mean, it looks fascinating. And and they do offer like behind the scenes tours there at O. If you go over there, I think, right? Don't they do that?
Yeah, they do. You guys should go while you're here. I wish I was going to be around, like I said.
Well, we thought about that, but it was like, we want to go when Rachel's going to be around. She's kind of a big deal. And we'll wait before you get back and, from competing for this will be Miss Scuba Queen International, right? This is the pageant that you'll be participating in. And where's it again? Malaysia?
Borneo.
Yeah.
Out there for about 3 weeks and doing some diving, doing some performing, underwater modeling.
Yeah.
So the full-on pageant, and then it does have an ocean conservation twist.
Right.
So that's pretty.
Yeah. What's your platform, Rachel? What will you be touting as your conservation platform?
Mine isn't necessarily conservation. Mine's actually freediving safety. And the reason why when I was a dive master, I was working in Thailand. And I found that I would, do the snorkel tours, and I'd get down to the same depths as a lot of my colleagues. And come to find out a little bit later, I was actually freediving when I found out what freediving was. And I was doing it very, very not safe. And so that's my platform is, I think that there are a lot of scuba divers that might get into freediving kind of the same way that I did. And so just being able to, help educate people a little bit more, making sure that you're not diving overweighted. And because you don't have a BCD, you just have your lungs. And so if you have a blackout, you're going to sink to the bottom. So there are need to do safely. And so that's kind of my platform.
Well, very good.
Well, if you need a platform next year, it could be robot sharks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
I thought
out on it.
Well, no, actually, why sharks? I thought you said it was going to be mermaids.
Ooh.
I was being a smart ass, Greg. It's called a callback.
I agree with the second part of that phrase. I'm not sure about the smart part.
Got it. Smart.
Can't you just feel the love?
Yeah. No, we're talking about, they got robot whale sharks in China in an aquarium now. Rachel, have you heard about this?
No.
Yeah, they sold tickets to an aquarium, and they said they were going to have a whale shark, and it was like a mechanical, like a underwater, drone that looked like a whale shark. And I was like, hey, is this the future? I mean, are we going to be going to aquariums in the future and we're not going to see real, captive animals anymore? It's going to be like robot fish and whale sharks. I'm like, man, that could happen. And then, you say what would be really cool? Well, CJ brought up the fact maybe we need robot mermaids.
No.
Exactly. That's what I said. No.
No, you loved it.
So really cool to recreate Avatar 2 and then like ride a whale shark on breath hold as you're like going through the aquarium.
Right. See?
I would do that.
It's the future. Get on board, CJ.
Nope.
Come on, Cock Johnson. I don't know. He's averse to the future. And
no, I'm not buying a ticket to see a friggin' robot.
You don't have to buy a ticket. Well, Rachel.
I'm not into it.
She'll probably. Rachel is the kind of diver, free diver, Cirque du Soleil performer that'd be on the cutting edge of this stuff.
Well, she wasn't involved in the last segment. It was just
I'm bringing her in.
Look at the robot shark. And
I'm all about bringing people together, and you're just putting your head down in the sand under a rock.
No, you just don't like it because I disagree with you.
The future's going to roll all over you.
Together, and then he ignites a crap storm.
What did I do? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think, Rachel? You're with me though. Live is better than fake. I mean,
Live
real. Fake. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I still think it'd be really fun to ride it. Like as a performer and as an artist, like I
Like
think
a
it'd
mechanical bull, but a mechanical shark.
Yeah.
yeah, water on breath hold. That would be so much fun. Like I was in Greece recently, and my buddy had a scooter, and I was holding onto his shoulder, and we were on breath hold, and he was like doing flips and stuff, and I was like holding onto his shoulder, and we were like flying through the water. It was so much fun.
That's
now you're
crazy.
talking. Now you're talking.
Oh, you would do that.
I would watch her ride a robot.
Oh, but you wouldn't do it.
But I wouldn't go if it was just the robot.
You wouldn't ride the robot.
That's not in the equation.
Hmm.
The choices are go see a robot in a tank, no, or go watch her ride a robot in a tank, sure.
That sounds like just kind of a personal preference, kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, you wouldn't want to participate. You'd just be an observer,
Not
a
necessarily.
voyeur, so to speak.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio. Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
I don't know why it is that all of us are so committed to the sea. I think it's because we all came from the sea. And it is an interesting biological fact that all of us have in our veins the exact same percentage of salt in our blood that exists in the ocean. And when we go back to the sea, we are going back from whence we came.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. We got Scuba Radio, Scuba Squad connected via the web. Bubble Boy, Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks. And we got Mermaid Rachel, a.k.a. Miss Scuba Queen 2024. USA, going for Miss International here in a couple weeks. And, I just realized, talking about all these, robotic sharks that could be the future. I mean, we might be able to tie this into the idea we mentioned earlier in the show, Rachel. I don't know if you heard about this, but we had this idea for Halloween last week. We missed it because I was in the Bahamas. But I wanted to do a whole themed weekend dive event called Scuba Radio Horror Island, where you go to the horror island and you do a night dive, and it's all creepy and stuff. But things got a little mixed up when we put it into production with the marketing team.
Scuba Radio listeners, this Halloween, come dive at Horror Island. Horror Island has the best diving in the Caribbean.
Oh!
October 31st, mention Scuba Radio and dive for just $69 for your night dive at Horror Island. Oh, hell yeah. You're guaranteed to get wet on Horror Island. After your horror dive, enjoy a hot and juicy horror barbecue with plenty of big breasts and succulent thighs right on Horror Beach. Oh, hell yeah. Then slide up to our very, very sexy horror bar to swap horror stories and indulge in 2-for-1 horror cocktails, including crowd favorites Cock Johnson's Rooster Rum, Coconut Kristen Daiquiri, Bubble Boy Big Barrel Bourbon, Jerry's Juicy Bud Turtle Slut Slushy, and Casey's Tobacco Nutbuster.
Yes.
$5 get you 2, guys. $5 get you 2. Don't forget the Greg keg will be flowing with golden goodness all night long at the Horror Bar.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
Horror Island.
Whore Island. Whore Island.
So this Halloween night, don't forget your mask, grab your hose, and tell them Greg the Dive Master from Scuba Radio sent you to dive deep in the dark at Horror Island, proving it's always better down where it's wetter. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, it didn't quite go how I was, initially came up with the idea, Rachel. But if you eliminate the fact that there's something lost in the translation to our marketing team, it might work. What do you think?
Yeah, I think and bring back more professional level. No, just a G-rated level. I think it'd be really fun to have people on breath hold, dive down, scare people while they're scuba diving, or
Right.
I think this could be a thing. I really like.
I do. We just got to get a different marketing team.
Yeah, just sounds too much like the other word.
Yeah, I just shared the idea with the team on a conference call, and something got lost.
He thought you
translation.
said the other word. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but
very fantastic.
yeah. Well, we think we could do this in Bimini. We just did a bull shark dive with a floating cage right there at the dock in Bimini. We could create a horror island right there and send them into the shark cage. We could do that too. Yeah.
That's cool. Although sharks aren't that scary.
No, they're
cool.
not. They're not at all. But
You know what was scary though, Greg? You need to talk to Rachel about what she dove.
what do you mean? What'd she dive?
Oh, well, in August, I went to Iceland and I got to free dive the Silfra Fissure. It's been a bucket list.
Ah, yes.
Tell him where you dove.
You
dive site.
Which one?
What?
You dove the
Which-
dive site? You dove the crack there in Iceland?
Yeah.
She did it in a 5 mil wetsuit.
Really? How cold was it? It had to be freezing.
He said she
wasn't it?
handled it.
I think
she'll take.
I think 37 degrees.
And her favorite place was the Devil's Butthole.
Oh my God.
Jerry.
No.
Really, Jerry?
No, that's just like saying.
She dove it.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, there's some swim throughs and other things too.
And that's what they are. Are you serious? They really call it that? They don't call it that.
Mhm.
They do?
Old scratch.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How deep are we talking?
5 to 7 meters.
Okay.
So,
well, that's pretty deep. All right.
15 max. But yeah, no, it was fine. It was a fun dive. Kind of chilly, but had a lot of cool friends. I was there to do a run across Iceland, so I got to take a whole bunch of first timers out snorkeling there. Well, I didn't take them. We all went as a group, but it was a really memorable time for everybody. So it was fun.
Bet. Well, I was there too, and I talked to Rachel about this a little bit, but I didn't get to go to the that Fisher spot. That was the one place we missed. I was prepared to do it. I'd go back, but what a beautiful area. I mean, to wander around that, and you went crazy. You ran like how many, one marathon or more? How far did you run?
Yeah, well, it was kind of an impulse thing. So I did this impulse run in the Enchantments, which is in Washington. It's like 23 miles. And then I met some random people on the trail and they're like, hey, what are you doing the last week of August, first week of September? And I was like, I'm probably going to Burning Man, but I'm not super stoked about it. I've done it for years. They're like, oh, come run across Iceland with us. And I was like, maybe. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, so about Iceland. And so it's 9 miles.
How many miles? Say that again. 209?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
Yeah.
So she's an animal. She's not human. You can tell. I mean,
No, that was definitely like an impulse thing. I sprained my ankle on day 2, which kind of sucked. But I limped my very first marathon on a sprained ankle in a blizzard, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
And then I decided to take a break because it wasn't super healthy. Because, when you get that invested, you're like, I have to do this, like hell or high water. And I was like, maybe it's a good idea to just take a break and chill. And so I took a few days off, was helping the team with set up and strike a camp. And then like the last few days, I was able to run full speed again and got to go running through Iceland with my friends. And it was a total blast.
Wow. So you had to sprain your ankle and pull back to get to that point where you ought to take a break and chill. I go right to the take a break and chill part and skip the other stuff myself personally, but that's just me. But I admire everything you do, Rachel. You are you're like Wonder Woman or something. I don't know. You're like, what's it? Yeah. I mean, she's doing all this crazy stuff, working for Cirque du Soleil. She's a scuba queen. She runs all around the planet. She free dives down to
plays with fire.
She's a fire dancer. What do you, not a fire? What do you call that?
Fire dancer.
It is fire dancer. Okay. She slings fire around and twirls it around, jumps like a maniac, and she does everything.
Pyro queen, I think, is the term.
Yes, technically, I think you might be correct there. But yeah, we thank you for sharing your skills and stories with us on Scuba Radio today. It's always a pleasure to catch up, Rachel. You know that, right? Despite the fact that we do things that probably you don't want to be associated with, which it's pretty much, I speak for all of America.
Horror Island.
And the world. Yeah, it's horror. Like
It's all.
That's what I said. Horror Island.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I apologized in advance.
You did. You did.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
sorry.
You know, but it's divers have to have.
Yes, we have to have a sense of humor. That is so true.
Okay.
Or be masochists or something to that effect. All right. Okay, so that's going to do it for this week. Till next time, remember, it is always better. Where, gang?
Down where it's wetter.
Safe diving, everyone.
They all love Scuba Radio. On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters?
Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.